Hello everyone, and this is Professor Dr. Yan for IDT5133 class. Last week was your Unit 1, where you did the Flipgrid introduction. Hope you enjoyed that activity. And you wrote a paper about impact of technology and learning. And let's look at what's coming up in this unit or this week. First of all, let me take you to our class. Okay. Unit 2, which is also week 2, this week is about technologies and pedagogies. Before you start work on any of the assignments in week 2, make sure you click the introduction, read any preparatory readings that we planned for you. So the chapter 6 and chapter 9 in your textbook, Emerging Technologies and Pedagogies in the curriculum, both chapters talk about technologies and pedagogies and the implications of technologies on the pedagogies. And Deborah's article about the online learner characteristics and pedagogical implications, and another reading regarding the outcome-based education, as well as the Bloom taxonomy, student learning styles. And all of the readings are designed or provided for you to help you work on your discussion assignments as well as your project. Now let's look at what assignments required for this week. So the first assignment is your discussion assignment, role of technology educators and trainers. Like I said, those chapter 6 and chapter 9, make sure you read that, as well as read the Deborah's article about the online learner characteristics and pedagogy implications, as well as the video about the student learning styles. If you have read anything about learning styles and the pedagogy and the online learner characteristics, think about this as a refresher. Now, in your post, you need to answer the following questions. What did technology say about learning styles? Okay. What are the pedagogical implications of learning styles and learning characteristics when designing for emerging learning technologies? So the role of educators in the networked world, that is an article. Okay. That's mentioned in one of the articles. So what type of educator should you want to become? All right. So that's for this discussion assignment. And starting from week 2, what unit 2, you will start to work on your project goals and objectives. So as you may have learned in your previous class, in any type of instruction always started with learning objectives. The learning objectives are the ones that you need to make sure that your students know very clearly what they're supposed to accomplish by the end of that class, by the end of the unit, by the end of the assignment. And when writing outcomes, the ABCD model is the one I highly recommend. A stands for audience, B stands for behavior, C stands for criteria, and D stands for degree. So those are the ABCD model. When you write learning objectives, make sure that you cover who is your audience, what behavior, very important, what behaviors you want them to what you want them to achieve. What are the criteria for your learners that they know the achieve that outcome, and to what degree, yes, do they meet the outcomes that you set for them? Those are ABCD model. Now in your project part 1, okay, you provide what you will identify an issue or learning problem you want to address. and the learning solution. And the solution is is what you'll be working on to address or resolve that learning issue or learning problem. So you will start with what are the title, subject, or description of your learning solution. And then you will need to focus on who are your learners, what your learners are like, what are the current and previous knowledge levels, and what are the characteristics of your learners. That's why the first article is very important for you to see what are learner characteristics. You need to know what their characteristics are, then you can address or you can design the learning that fits the learning characteristics the best. And then you also need to think about what are the learning environment you want to create for that project. Would that be face-to-face class? Would it be online? Would it be blended learning, or would it be augmented learning environment, or maybe an e-learning environment, or maybe a game? So whatever you decide, you can choose whatever learning environment you want to create for that project. Now you're going to write 4 learning objectives for that project. I also want to remind you that this is a 6-week class, so you won't be able to fully develop your project in this 6 weeks time. So this is more of a practice on how you plan to create your project. And I also provided a formula here for writing learning objectives. For example, if under the completion of this course or training, you will be able to, so the da is a verb or Bloom taxonomy verb that you will describe what behavior you want your learners to accomplish. Okay. And remember, do not use a fuzzy verb such as know or learn or understand. Those are the 3 fuzzy verbs that you do not want to use. Okay, I also provided a template. Make sure you use a template as you work on each part of your project. Hopefully the template will give you a little bit more guidance on how you begin and how you develop your project. Now, there's also each week you also have devotional assignment, which is 5 points, as well as a digital activity. No, this is about emerging technology course. So using the tools, using the technologies are very important for you in this course. But again, like I said, this is not technology, solely technology course. This course is to make sure make sure you are familiar with some of the technologies, but more importantly, you know how to use technology in your design for the training, for the teaching, and for the learning. That's the goal. It's the learnability you can learn when you are encountered with any new technologies. You can very quickly to learn any new technologies. That is the goal of this course. Now, in Unit 2, the digital activity you'll be working on is create a digital story. Okay, so there's some learning resources that we provided for you. What are the 7 elements of digital story telling in 4 minutes? Make sure that in your digital story you have all those 7 minutes. And there are some other articles about integrate digital storytelling in education, and especially the favorite digital storytelling tools. You can click that link, select the tool that you want to use to create your own digital story. So this digital story, you can choose any topic that you like or you are interested. So there's some of the tools that you can use. I mean, of course, PowerPoint is the easiest one, and ESRI Story Maps, Adobe Spark, or Canva. Canva is a very user-friendly and intuitive tool. So you can choose any tool or any of the tool in the link, our favorite digital storytelling tool, to create a digital story. So your digital story needs to be 4 minutes or less. You need to include graphics, audios, and videos. As I said, choose a topic of your interest for the story. Now, what you need to make sure is this digital story not only entertaining, but also need to have educational content and purpose. So what you write, what the story about, and what kind of educational content, what's this purpose for your digital story, okay? And of course, make sure you need to have the 7 elements in that in your digital story. Okay, that's all for this week for Unit 2, Technologies and Pedagogies. And hope you enjoy your week 2 activities, and I'll see you back in week 3.